Have you ever tried to pet a cat, but each time you get close, it scampers away and watches you from afar? Then, you move toward it again, only for it to dash off once more. On your third attempt, it bolts and disappears entirely. Yet, a few hours later, when you're no longer paying attention, the cat reappears, approaches you, and leaps into your lap. This is a common occurrence. When we actively pursue something or someone, it often eludes us, but when we stop trying, it tends to come to us. This can be perplexing, especially since we're taught that hard work is the key to success. While it's true that achieving our goals often requires effort, there's another important aspect to consider. The law of reversed effort illustrates that in many cases, striving too hard can push us further away from our desired result, and the more we try, the more elusive it becomes. Conversely, when we ease off, things often fall into place more easily. Therefore, reaching our goals isn't solely about exertion. We must also recognize the importance of knowing when to take action and when to refrain from it, requiring both intelligence and skill. In a previous video, we delved into the concept of the law of reversed effort, also known as the backwards law, particularly in the context of seeking happiness. As best-selling author Mark Manson puts it, wanting a positive experience is a negative experience. Accepting a negative experience is a positive experience. In essence, the more we chase after happiness, the less happy we become, because we emphasize what we lack. Conversely, when we are content with our current state, we often find the happiness we seek. In this video, however, we will examine the law of reversed effort from the perspective of performance, goal achievement, and overcoming fears. English writer and philosopher Aldous Huxley coined this idea, noting that true proficiency is achieved by balancing relaxation with activity. He famously said, "The harder we try with a conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed. Mastery and the results of proficiency come to those who have learned the paradoxical art of combining effort with ease, allowing a natural and transcendent force to take over." We cannot force understanding. We can only create a mindset conducive to it. Consider an insomniac trying to sleep. The more he tries, the longer he stays awake, leading to frustration and even greater effort to fall asleep. Eventually, he stops trying, accepts his sleeplessness, and then, without any effort, he drifts off. Sleep is one of those things we cannot force, yet we often try, with poor results. This makes sense when we consider that sleep represents the ultimate relaxation, and trying to force relaxation is inherently contradictory. Attraction is another thing we cannot compel. Attraction happens naturally, without conscious choice. Generally speaking, we find that neediness repels, while elusiveness attracts. The more we pursue someone, the less attractive we become. But when we stop chasing, we appear more elusive, and the attraction may return. As the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Overexerting oneself often leads to the opposite of the desired outcome. Philosopher and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl noted that when we obsess over achieving certain outcomes and avoiding others, we create anticipatory anxiety. Often, this intense focus results in the very situation we aim to avoid. For instance, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl describes a stutterer who desperately tries not to stutter. However, the harder he tries, the more his speech falters because of his anxiety over not stuttering. This principle applies to many areas of life. When we try too hard to have fun, we usually fail because we're so focused on the end result that it becomes unenjoyable. Another example is people who struggle to climax in the bedroom. The more they focus on achieving climax, the less likely they are to succeed, turning the experience and anticipation into something dreadful. Here again, hyperfixation on specific outcomes hampers performance. Frankl offers a practical solution called paradoxical intention. This method helps us escape hyperintention by shifting our mindset from avoiding specific outcomes to embracing them. By wishing for what we previously feared, we reduce anxiety and the pressure for results. For instance, we might fall asleep more easily by wishing to stay awake than by trying hard to sleep. More on paradoxical intention can be found in our previous video titled Viktor Frankl's Method to Overcome Fear. Learning to drive a car can be an incredibly frustrating experience. For most people, mastering this skill takes many lessons and hours. For a novice, controlling a vehicle while navigating traffic is an unnatural and complex task. Unless you're driving an automatic, you must use 3 pedals to accelerate, brake, and change gears. Additionally, you need to use mirrors to monitor your surroundings, which initially seems almost impossible to master. However, with ample practice, these actions become automatic. Our conscious mind is both a gift and a hindrance. It enables us to reason, analyze, and use language. Yet, it often obstructs what Taoists call wu wei, or the flow state. In the flow state, actions become fluid and effortless, as if they occur naturally. It's like the dancer becoming the dance, or the painter becoming the painting. In the video Taoism, the philosophy of flow, retired basketball player Bill Russell describes the flow state as playing in slow motion, where he could almost predict the next play and shot. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung recognized that our conscious mind is only a small part of the psyche. He compared it to the tip of an iceberg, with the unconscious mind being the larger part submerged underwater, invisible to those above the surface. According to Jung, the psyche generates many unconscious processes that the conscious mind is unaware of. Similarly, Aldous Huxley distinguished between consciousness and the personal conscious, suggesting that a relaxed personal conscious is necessary for the broader self to emerge. He stated the personal conscious self being a kind of small island in the midst of an enormous area of consciousness. What has to be relaxed is the personal self, the self that tries too hard, that thinks it knows what is what, that uses language. This must be relaxed so that the multiple powers at work within the deeper and wider self may come through and function as they should. In all psychophysical skills, we observe the curious fact of the law of reversed effort. The harder we try, the worse we perform. When asked how he writes and creates, author Charles Bukowski replied, "You don't. You don't try. That's very important. Not to try, either for Cadillac's creation or immortality. You wait. And if nothing happens, you wait some more. It's like a bug high on the wall. You wait for it to come to you. When it gets close enough, you reach out, slap out, and kill it. Or, if you like its looks, you make a pet out of it. The more we try, the worse it gets. The more we pursue the people we desire, the more they evade us. The harder we try to sell something, the fewer sales we make. Yet, if we don't act at all, we see no results. Therefore, we need to find a balance between action and inaction, between conscious effort and allowing action to occur naturally. In many aspects of life, excessive effort can lead to diminishing returns. When we chase after people too fervently, they tend to pull away, sensing our desperation. Similarly, an overzealous approach to sales often backfires, as potential customers are turned off by the pressure. These situations illustrate the paradox that striving too hard can push our goals further out of reach. On one hand, conscious effort is crucial for developing our skills. We need to engage in practice, learning, thinking, understanding, and analyzing to build a strong foundation. This deliberate effort allows us to acquire knowledge, refine our techniques, and achieve a deeper comprehension of our activities. Without this focused effort, skill development would be haphazard and incomplete. On the other hand, once these skills are developed, the absence of conscious effort and intellectual activity is necessary for them to emerge naturally. When we overthink or try too hard, we can hinder our performance and disrupt the flow state where our abilities can shine effortlessly. By allowing our minds to relax and trusting in the skills we've honed, we enable ourselves to perform with ease and proficiency, letting our training and knowledge manifest intuitively. We need to calm our minds and get out of our own way to perform at our best. As Aldous Huxley noted, consider the piano teacher's advice. Relax, relax, but how can you relax while your fingers are flying over the keys? Yet, they must relax. Singing teachers and golf pros give the same advice, and this is also true for those who teach mental prayer in spiritual exercises. We need to find a way to blend relaxation with activity seamlessly. This balance is crucial because it allows us to perform tasks effectively without the burden of excessive stress or overthinking. When we can engage in activities with a relaxed mind, we are more likely to enter the flow state, where our actions become fluid and natural. The flow state is often described by those who have experienced it as a state of mental clarity and calmness. In this state, individuals are fully immersed in their tasks, losing track of time and external pressures. Achieving this state requires a harmonious combination of effort and relaxation, enabling us to perform at our best while maintaining inner peace. When athletes, musicians, singers, Formula One drivers, and martial artists are in the zone, they don't ruminate, worry, analyze, intellectualize, or plan their next move. They simply flow with the natural course, as if they're part of it. So, paradoxically, achieving optimal performance requires us to relax, stop trying so hard, and let our activities unfold automatically. As Laozi asked, can you remain tranquil until right action occurs by itself? Thank you for watching.